Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Mindset Matters podcast. I'm your host, Riley Jensen. And today I want to talk about cultivating a growth mindset in a negative society. Have you ever heard the word Kaizen? It's a Japanese word that means continuous improvement or change for the better. And I love this idea because it's such a simple reminder that we're never finished products. We're always learning. We're always growing. Now, let me ask you this. Where in your life do you feel like you've stopped growing? Or maybe this. Where have you told yourself, that's just the way that I am? That's what we call a fixed mindset. It's when we think our talents, our intelligence, even our personality are just set like an eye color. However, our abilities are more often like muscles. They grow with effort. That's what a growth mindset is all about. I'll give you a personal example. When I graduated from college, before I went back to school for sports psychology, I hit a season where I was stuck. I wasn't learning, I wasn't growing, and my goals felt stagnant. It wasn't until I decided to lean back into learning, to embrace challenges instead of avoiding them, that everything started to shift. And now, years later, I still practice Kaizen. I'm even considering a doctorate in sports psychology, not just for the title, but because I know it will stretch me to grow and because I love to learn. But the best lessons I've learned about mindset have come from my kids. Take my daughter Alexis. She tried out for a competitive basketball team a few years back, and to be honest, it was brutal. Her shots were blocked, the ball was stolen, it was tough to watch. Afterwards, she sat in the car, her bottom lip quivering, and asked me, "Is it okay if I just play junior jazz the rest of my life?" Now, let me pause here. How would you answer your child in that moment? Because if I'm being honest, a part of me wanted to say, yes, let's quit. Let's protect you. But instead I said, it's okay to feel that way, Alexis, and that may be an option, but today is not the day to make that decision. And here's the twist. A week later, the coach called. She'd actually made the team. I couldn't believe it. In the next 3 months, Alexis transformed. Not because she became the star, but because she focused on daily growth. Step by step, she built confidence, skills, and resilience. That's the growth mindset in action. Now, my son Jack is the opposite. He's in some ways fearless, a honey badger of sorts. Loads of competitiveness, some natural talent, and drive. But with him, my job is to change the scoreboard. Instead of celebrating touchdowns, I ask him this: what did you do differently this week that allowed you to play at that level? That shifts his focus from talent to effort, because someday he'll walk into a room where everyone is just as talented, and effort will be the separator. So here's my challenge for you this week. Where in your life are you living with a fixed mindset? And how can you shift that into a growth mindset by focusing on effort, process, and learning? Remember, you don't have to be 100% growth mindset in every area. None of us are, but like any muscle, a growth mindset strengthens every time you practice it. And that's the heart of Kaizen, continuous growth, one choice at a time. Reach out to me if you find this content impactful. Share this message if you think someone could benefit from hearing this message. Let's commit today to building a growth mindset, 1 minute, 1 hour, and 1 day at a time.